So I said like this, just to get started with this idea. Here we go. Started with this idea. I said, look at the second column on page Tav Shin Bet, and go down to the bottom. Just pick up some words here because we're going to look at number 45, number Mem Hey. So what we're talking about here is the letter Vav, although he's going to mention something slightly different here. So just get a taste of where we've been. So we're going to go to the very last word, says Amnon on that column. See that? So it says Amnon besod Yud La'ela Yud L'Tato Lo Nimsa. So this relationship we don't find. V'lo Tomar She'enu Misham. But don't say at the same time that the Yud down below, I think that, let's see what he says. She'en, his Atlos, the Yud T'to, the Zer Anpin, Miyud Ilor, the Eric Anpin. Don't say that. Chas v'shalom. Ki mehechon yematze Yud T'to, so how would Yud T'to come about? Where would it come from? Klum yesh nimsa lamata chama she'enem meshrash lamala. Everything has to be rooted up above. Now, this is a basic question that I had earlier, but let's see. That's not really what this is talking about. So let's just get a taste of the flavor. L'chein, l'kach, therefore, Pirish Sifra D'tzniuta, the Pirish is here. V'amar la'elo, yud la'elo, ba lo ishtatev achra. So with that yud above, there's no actual coordination or partnership with anything up above. He yumatzech b'meno b'yud ilo yud tuto ela lo ishtatev. But the difference is difference. It's not that it doesn't come from that, but they don't have a what was the right way? They don't have a bilateral relationship. Lihiyosa niksheres, as I said, for example, to say that they're tied together, that yud ilo b'yud tuto, zu b'zu, umirazu the zu, and they would shine into each other. That's the shutvas. Be'in einin ba'einin, which is the same idea, is eye to eye. Ka'omer ki ayin ba'aya yiro. So also the same idea. Ki v'chein mitzcha b'mitzcha v'kiyotze. Okay, that's all I wanted to say about that. I want to go back because I want to look at a smaller place, which is number Mem Hey. And Mem Hey, where is it? Excuse me. Mem Hey, okay, is on the bottom of the right column. Very at the bottom in the notes. So it had said like this right before Mem Hey. It's not talking about the Yud. I just had to bring that up because I had to bring it up. He said that what you have here is, we're talking about the Vav. So it had said, let's go back to where we were at the bottom of the left column again. Let me see if I can find a little, so he says, on the end of the third line for the bottom, it says, Vav la'elo, over his pashto, so the Ratzilis na'asib gam came Vav l'tata, etc. So now we're talking about the Vav, because that's really what this conversation is about. So let's see if we can understand anything from, let me see how I'm going to do this, on Mem Hey, from Mem Hey. So we're going here to the Ohr Yakar. And the Ohr Yakar, in experience, I'm reading it before, is bits and pieces of things. Sometimes it's easy to understand, sometimes it goes right together. Let's see what this one says. He said, Ohr Yakar ha'erik kan od be'init hislaflos tikuni zer anpen, mitikuni erik anpen. He quotes the Ohr Yakar. V'im he yos the mashba the tikuna, that is in Os Vav, he ka'amar lav davko hu ela iker kama vavim. So where does this idea come from? So we had the idea of that the Mishatef, The Vav with the Vav, the Hey with the Hey. The only one that's not Meshatef is the Yud. So we read that. We know about the Yud. The Vav, the Hey is something similar. So let's see what we go here. The whole Bezoar Parshas Truma. Ka'amar Rabbi Yitzchak, Rabbi Shimon says like this. Rabbi Yitzchak, rather. Te'enev Sifra D'tzniuta. Vavim la'ela vavim l'tata. V'kulkul b'maskala chad salkim. So that's a statement from the Zohar. So he says, Ahora she'im hi yoshehu amar vav chada. So it's like this. If he would say one vav, lav al chada ka'amar, but it's not talking about just one, a latuva, but a lot more. The tikuni tova. Iker beraza ba'oz vav. There's a lot of tikkunim that come about in the secret of the letter vav. La'ela v'tata kadefrishno, and also down below. So what are we saying now? We say there's a vav up above and vav down below, but then it seems like there's a lot of vavs. Let me get a little drink here. Okay. Going on to the next column. Hine masha ba lahashbi'ano. So what's coming to tell us? Ba'omra vav la'ela o the lo la'ela. So was it up above or excuse me, vav la'ela o vavin the la'ela? Which one is it? Ratza lahashmi'anu shalo na'emesh atzilus tikuni zohar, that the atzilus tikuni zohar of the kuni zer anpen. Enema atzilus tikurik erik anpen. It doesn't come from there. Mebechina achronish, but only part. I don't know what this means exactly. Excuse me. But only from the lower bechina that's in it. Below Yushtad im sham basi lusam hatikunim elyonim. So when they come out, we don't see with them the low nishtadva. They don't become partners, or they don't share. Basi lusam, when they come out, hatikunim elyonim, they don't share them. Ella vavim laela vavim latata. Now that requires, it's like a little piece, but what did he say? Ritzol and Lomer Mamash, Bebechinas Tikunim Elyonim, Dispashdo V'nimdado Tikunim V'tachtonim. Fine. The Nimsa Sari Dezer Anpin de Arich, so we found like the Sari, I think he means the Sari of Zer Anpin, comes from the Sarim of Erik Anpin. V'chutma Dezer Anpin, the erich also comes from el erich. V'orcha b'belugsich of this ari, and the way that hairs, whatever this means, I'm not sure, split. Orcha the erich anpe. So in other words, it's like a what would you say? It's like a reflection of it. It's like the same in many ways. V'al zechav the kol tikunim, the same way with all the tikunim. V'hainu. Omra bezohar and Truma, it says in the Zohar and Truma, v'kulchu b'maskala chad salkin. So all of it, that is what? The vav down below and the vav up above, they all could be measured or balanced in the same. In other words, they have the same weight. They're like in a balance scale. Kolomar, shatikune besod vavim atachton zer anpin, olim b'mishgal, they could be counted in the same way on a balance scale. Shav and Mamish, the Tikuni Vavim al Yonin, the Erikamp, they're exactly the same. Same weight. So that seems very unlikely to me. V'ina av shehevi sham loshen v'kulhu b'maskala chad salkim, that phrase that all of them could be balanced in one way. In other words, they're the same balance. B'shem Sifra D'tzniuta, and that was stated in the name of the Sifra D'tzniuta, Ha'emes came, but the truth is not like that. So what he did was he took this quote, the quote that they come to, V'kulhu b'maskal achad salkin, that quote from the Zohar, And we would think that therefore that Zer Anpin has the same weight as Eric Anpin, same quality as Eric Anpin. V'lo ne'emer lashon zecher b'Sifra D'tzniuta, but he says that shech is not the language of the Sifra D'tzniuta. Ella b'toch Yisura Delishna, but it just is, I guess it's a extra language called Neked Chachak Defrishna. That's the language that they use there. Of course, it doesn't explain what it meant. It just doesn't go together, he says. So let's see if we can figure out, we can see something about that. V'im hiyosha nirach be'idra, so if it comes out that it appears in the idra, the lo chachichu, that it's not actually this, al nitzutza nafki bebutzin de kardanisa de erikanpin, but actually this is how it really works. That in erikanpin there's a spark that comes from the butzin de kardanusa of erikanpin. V'ha'atzel tikuni zer anpin, and from this spark, then we see the development, as we know, because sparks are really what leads us to the lower worlds, so to speak. V'ha'atzel tikuni zer anpin, v'abishalon na'atzlo tikuni zer anpin, mitikuni erik anpin mamish. He says, so therefore you could see that the form, the spheros and the midos of zer anpin don't come exactly from Eric Anpin, but rather they come from Mamish, but they come from Nitzutza, which is a third element. Elam Emsolis and Nitzutza, that's what he says. Kamavur Sham, and it explains that over there. Okay, fine. So what has he actually been saying here? We have this concept of the Vavim that come along with the Maskala. They're the same. They're the same weight. Over here, this says, well, it's not coming from that at all. It's not coming directly from each. It's not like, say, you take your savings, your paycheck, and you put it in the bank, and now you got the bank has got your money. That would be Zeranpin. It's not exactly like that. Kisod Kav Hamida. So when we talk about we've used this word before, the Kav Hamida, the middle line, which causes the different qualities to appear. Hamislavesha besod hanitzatzahu, which is that kavamida is hidden inside, is clothed inside of that spark that we're talking about that comes from the butzina de kardanusa. Naket chela de tikuni reloy. So therefore, this has really come and tell us the power of the tikuni law laafka tikunim tetoim. That it has the ability, the tikkun up above has the ability to generate tikkunim in a more physical place. My definition of tikkunim titoim. The hechrach hu mekamatami, and it has to be like that for several different reasons. Now, again, reading the Ohr Yakar, he brings in lots of different pieces. So I guess you could probably talk about the different pieces. So he said, "V'hechrachu b'kamatamim." There has to be like this for several different reasons. Now, what is exactly he saying here? Chada, one is shekol atzmusim shel tikuni hakeser, all of the essence of the tikuni keser, enam ela the shorsham the tikuni zer anpin. The reason why they exist. Is that what he said? Let me read it again. V'im ata omer was read the wrong place. Chada is that shekol atzmusam shel tikuni hakeser. They exist for one reason. Einam ela yod shroshim the tikuni zer anpin. It's so that there should be a direct relationship between Eric Anpin and tikuni. That would be their root. Tikuni zer. V'im atachem omer she'enem nimsoim ela me'elu, that they only come from, one comes from the next, I guess. Ela inyan la'atzma. I'm not sure what this phrase means. Let's read again. V'im ata omer she'enem nimsoim elu me'elu, that we don't see, I read it a little bit wrong there. We don't see this a direct relationship that one comes from the other. Ela inyan la'atzma, but it's an inyan by itself. Now, what does that mean? Ma sharshim haim. What are the roots? Ella Vadai shatachtonim nimsoim min elyonim, that they appear, they're found, they appear, min elyonim. Okay, I'm not sure that I got what he wanted to say there. Let's go on. Shadis, Shahari Tikuni Eric Arich Masaknim Tikuni Zer Anpin. They actually build the Tikuni with Zer Anpin. Ba'ainin Mitzra B'mitzra. So he says, I read it wrong. Zer Ainin Ba'ainin Mitzra B'mitzra Mucha B'mucha Kasher Bi'arnuchu Be'idra, as is explained over in the Idra. V'im came Hechmavu Rahulikam Yavu Elu Be'elu. So if that's the case, how do you put the two of them together? Im lo ayidei so tikunim elu mispashtim me'elu. If it's not for the reason, in other words, has to be for the reason that the tikunim are actually spreading, or what's the right word, are given over, ki im al yidei so tikunim elu mispashtim be'elu, that actually spread. One of the place, the source of the tikkunim spreads down below. V'nimsoim tetoim me'iloim, and it comes out therefore that what you see manifest in a more physical place has to have root up above, and it comes from the Elohim. Vivi yosha ein lamala dinim. Now, what this means, I don't know. If you have a situation where in the upper world there are no dinim, there are dinim around Zeranpin, is that what it means? V'hem somchim l'matach. So it was not explained further what that phrase meant. Here's something else. For Od Timsa ki habina krova yoser labina, that where this is coming from, I'm not sure either. So as long as he's talking, I guess he brings in the whole quote. So we find like this: ki habina krova yoser labina of das ladas. So that the spheres line up. That's like the same thing he said before. Einim ba'einim, eyes to eyes for the forehead. Be'inyan shetimsa sheyoser neksharim tikuni diknera b'tikuni arich. That the tikunim, I guess he means a zer anpin, are more sheyoser neksharim, tied together b'tikuni diknera b'tikuni arich. B'tikuni the rachme could go like the tikunim of the rachme. Does he mean that zeranpen? Go mochok v'kruma v'kiyotza. No, he doesn't mean that. He means some higher levels. V'kiyotza v'zecher she'amr vavim la'ela o vav la'ela vav latata adkan lashon ha'or yakar. Okay, like I said, you get a flavor from the Ohr Yakar, but it's hard. They're put together in such a way that they need a pirush of their own. Okay, this is the last paragraph we're going to do on this. It says like this: Od yesh dehavi kan divrei Ohr Yakar. So now I'm going to bring the Ohr Yakar back again. Evizel l'shono of a Sifra D'tzniuta, in the Sifra D'tzniuta vavim. Back over here. This is a quote. He says is a vav, is a quote for the Sifra D'tzniuta. Our sefer D'tzniuta. He says, excuse me, the Sifra D'tzniuta, Vavim la'elo besod shem arich anpin, which you see here is Yud Vav Dalet K Yud Vav K Yud. There are 3 Vavs here. So if you wanted to look at it like that, you would say in the Milui of the Vavim up above there's more than one. Harish Shlosha Vavim. So you see there's 3 Vavim here. Shehem Sa'aras de Rechanpin. And what is a Vav anyway? The Vav, it's hard to understand, but I guess if we saw a picture in the Rishash or something like that of the head of Eric Anpin, that we do see there's a place where there are 3 Vavs. The Vavs why? Because of the Milui of Vav. Shehu Sar Reshe Ka'amanaki. So this would be like of this white or this clean wool. This would be those hairs. So let me just read one more time. He says again. He said the first line. Sham Shame Eric Anpin is spelled out in 3 Vavs. Harish Shlosha Vavim. Shehem Saras the Eric Anpin, and those Vavs represents the hairs of Eric Anpin. Shehu Seir Reshe Kamo ka'amar nake. So that's the quality of those hairs. Vav in the tata, we should have Yud Vav Dalet K Aleph Vav Aleph Vav K Aleph. You're going to have 3 Vavs there too. Shehem Shlosha Vavim, which is another 3 Vavim. So this is a little bit an explanation of how he dropped these ideas in there. Shlosha Mini Seir, Zer Anpin. There are 3 different types of hair in Zer Anpin. He says Sheyesh Bechem Din, and all of those hairs have within them din, because what's happening in the hairs is that they are squeezing down the life from the Ein Sof Baruch Hu and limiting it, and that's a tikkun. So he says, all of Ne'emer, it says like this in Shir Shirim, Kitz Voisav, its ends, Tal Talim, Shcharas Ka'orav. I guess now Tal Talim, I looked up the pasuk, I forgot what they said that Tal Talim means. Maybe means bundles or wrapped around. Shcharas ka'orav are black, like the raven, like a raven, beside the din. In fact, that they have din inside of them. V'chein vavim de la'elo hem kasef rachamim. But the vavim up above, they're kasef, which comes with the name kasa. Is the gematria 160, as you and I know, plus a kolel makes the is the gematria of kasef plus a kolel, which means it's rachamim. So up above it's rachamim. Down below, though, it gets squeezed, and as a result of squeezing, these are my words, it becomes full of dinim. Vavim de latata teluyim bevavim de la'ela. V'lechem hem chashu Chashukechem elu ne'achazim be'elu. So therefore, in their darkness, that's what I think he means, elu ne'achazim be'elu, one holds on to the next. They're really the same light, but squeezed. Behind the v'kulhu b'maska l'chad salkim, that you could really put, this is the meaning, and I still don't get it 100%. Chad maska l'salkim, because they have the same qualities. Behind the v'chashukechem kedefrishna, so that they're cheshek, the chashukechem, kedefrishna is like we explained. So that's that piece. We have 8 minutes, so let's look a little bit